Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Panchakalpatarusya
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
So today we went to the garden by the bay, and we saw so many beautiful flowers. We were just amazed how Krishna makes so many wonderful different colored, amazing flowers, so many wonderful shapes, and leaves with so many different colors, and so many great big ones, and long ones like this, and plants that eat bugs, and so many incredible things. And we were just thinking that although we know this material world is a miserable place, but somehow this is the trailer making you think it's very nice. But just like we saw that one pitcher plant, you know, the bugs come, they land on it and slide inside and get dissolved. And everyone is fighting for, it looks all very beautiful to us, but it's a big fight going on to get sunlight, to get water. Underneath the ground, big fight is going on. But anyway, it looks so beautiful. I just see, just imagine what the spiritual world will be like. Even in the material world, such beautiful appearing things are there. Just imagine. And we saw one flower, and it made me remember a piece of a pastime, that part of the pastime I forgot. It's called hydrangea. It's like a little whole bunch of, there's small flowers about this big, they're bluish, all different color, shades of blue, and they come in a big ball like this. So, one time we drove out from Dallas, because we started the Dallas temple way back in 1970. They gave us a little Volkswagen Bug, 2 boxes of BTGs, 2 boxes of spiritual sky incense, and told us go open a temple. And we drove off into the rising sun to open a temple there in Dallas. Nowadays, just if you become the department head, you have to have a computer, you have to have an internet connection, you have to have this, you have to have that, you have to have so many things. But they just gave us a little Volkswagen Bug, 2 boxes of incense, 2 boxes of BTGs, and said, go open the temple. So at that time, Prabhupada took a whole bunch of devotees to India, and everywhere he was getting another invitation, and there was a big backlog of devotees who wanted to get initiated. I was also due for my second initiation, and my wife, she hadn't even had first initiation. And Prabhupada said he didn't want us just to see how he was. He didn't even want us to waste the money to send the beads to India. He said, I'm coming. But then another program would appear, another program would appear. There was some program to go to Amritsar also. So many wonderful programs were there. So finally Prabhupada came to LA. So we drove out to LA. And then there was some discussion, because many devotees were waiting. So there was some discussion whether they should get first and second together. So Prabhupada called them into his room, and he asked the first devotee, he said, who is Krishna? He said, Supreme Personality of God. Okay, you can take second initiative. Then he asked the other one, who's Lord Chaitanya? He said, most beneficent incarnation. Prabhupada said, no, he's Krishna himself. Okay, you can take initiative. And then the question came up, my wife, she had been waiting for a long time, and Prabhupada said, well, if husband is taking second, the wife follows the husband, so she should also take second. So she got first and second all together. So in the morning, Prabhupada did the fire jug and everything, and gave the lecture. And then those who were up for second initiation, we went and sat downstairs waiting to go up to Prabhupada's room. And Nanda Kumar came and he said, all right, we'll call you in a minute, you come one by one. So then Nanda Kumar came down and said, Prabhupada has to go somewhere, some very important banking thing is there. I can't wait, so you come back at noon. So we came back at noon. I again they came down and said, you come back at 5 o'clock. Prabhupada's very busy right now. And our ride was leading back to Dallas at 3 o'clock. So I told them to come up. But our ride is leaving at 3 o'clock. So he went up and then Prabhupada said, he came down and said, supposed to come. So we had picked these beautiful blue hydrangeas, big ball of flowers like this. So we brought them up and we came into Prabhupada's room together. And Nanda Kumar became very angry. Now just about a month ago, Nanda Kumar left this world. He remained very faithful to Prabhupada all this time. He became very upset. He said, I told you to come one by one. Prabhupada said, dear husband and wife, it is all right. So we came and Prabhupada was behind this big wooden desk and we handed these flowers to Prabhupada and he very graciously accepted them and smiled. Then he motioned us to come around the right side of his table. And he was sitting on this big cushion, this big wooden desk was there, and we sat on these little mats just next to him. Prabhupada looked like a little cowboy sitting on top of this big cushion. So then Prabhupada taught us how to count 10 times. Then he gave us little pieces of paper. And still today, when I chant my Gayatri, I just remember Prabhupada's voice chanting all the different Gayatri mantras. And then Prabhupada looked at me and he went like this. Because this is what Prabhupada had to deal with. We're getting Brahma initiation, we have our shirt on, how are we going to get the thread? So I felt very foolish pulling out my kurta in front of my spiritual master. And then Prabhupada, he took that Brahma thread and he opened it up like that. Still today, sometimes I open it and it gets so open with these tangled, I just have to throw it out and start over. So Prabhupada just it was open. And just to show you what Prabhupada had to deal with, because I never wore Prabhupada thread in my life, so I didn't know whether to put it this arm or put it this arm. And Prabhupada just put it like a garland. He said, you can learn from your senior godbrothers how to wear. So then we gave Prabhupada some dakshina, and he said, thank you very much. I picked up my kurta and we started to back out of the room. Then I remember in Nectar Devotion it says, one should not fail to offer praise in front of the spiritual master. I said, we didn't say anything, we didn't do anything. And Prabhupada was already getting busy on his desk and we were walking out and I think we didn't say anything, praise. I didn't know what to do. And I finally got to the door and I said, Jai Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada looked up with one of those smiles, like a million suns is rising in the sky. And Prabhupada said, Hare Krishna. So I had forgotten all about those hydrangea flowers until we saw them today. I remembered that part of the. I told them many times lately, but I forgot them. We had those beautiful flowers. The Prabhupada was so kind to us. And he looked at us, but after we gave the dakshina, then he looked at us, he said, now you just execute this Krishna consciousness very enthusiastically as husband and wife. And that's the way it was. I was always the temple president, she was the head cook and unofficial temple commander, and our whole life was just busy in Krishna Seva. This is wonderful pastime that I remember the integral part of that pastime was spoken. Hare Krishna. So yesterday a couple of times we mentioned Radha Rani, and today we're just singing Jaya Radha Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan. Just at the tail of Govardhan, or not the tail, actually the head of Govardhan. Because Radha Kunda and Shama Kunda are considered to be the two eyes of Govardhan. Because sometimes he's described as being shaped like a peacock. So those are the two eyes at that end. And way down the tail is where he's very tall. Because Radha Kunda is already under the ground. Because that's the neck goes down like that. So just the head comes up. And the other end, the big tail is there of peacock, so in Hindi we say Poonch, so that village is called Poonchri, the very end of Govardhan. And how Mahaprabhu discovered Radhakund and Chamakund is very interesting. Because they had been lost to the eyes of this world. So Chaitanya Charitamrita describes Mahaprabhu in Bahula Rani, which is a forest, one of the closest forests to our temple. And from Bahula Rani he started heading towards Govardhan. And he was completely, and he wasn't like us coming in AC bus and car. He was going by his 2 feet with his hands raised in the sky. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And he was completely lost in ecstasy, no external consciousness. And as they got close to Govardhan Hill, Balabhadra Bhattacharya, who was going with Mahaprabhu to all places, he asked some villager, what is the name of this place? And he said, this is Aritagram. As soon as the sound of Aritagram entered Mahaprabhu's ear, he returned to his external consciousness. Because the original name of this place was Aristagram, named after Aristasura, who was a big demon who came in the shape of a... Oh, you're reading good. So why, hearing about Aristasura, then he began to ask everyone, where's Radhakund and Chamakund? Now why, hearing about Aristasura, who was a big demon, did he think of Radhakund and Chamakund? So what happened was that one time, and our Jiva Goswami explains it was on the Chaitra Purnima. Everybody thinks that Bahulastami is the appearance of Radhakund, but actually according to Jiva Goswami, and Chaitra Purnima Krishna came there in the springtime. So, and he was just getting ready for doing Rasa with all the gopis. Prabhupada calls Krishna Natavara, just like a dancing actor. Beautiful Pitambar dhoti and little red sash, nice, beautiful golden kurta, chadar and everything. Just getting ready for doing Rasa dance. When he heard that this Aristasura was terrorizing all the Vrishvasis. You thought this terrorism was a new thing, huh? When I was a little kid, we never heard about such a thing. It was much later. But this has been going on for these last 5,000 years, this terrorism. This was Arista bin Laden. He was tearing up the ground with his hooves. He was smashing the Vrishvasi houses with his horns. His roaring was causing cows and Vrishvasinis to have miscarriages. His tail was swatting the clouds. The whole earth was trembling. So Krishna became very upset. He said, why are you terrorizing these poor innocent Vrishvasis? If you want to fight, you fight with me. And then Krishna, just to show he didn't have any fear, he put his hand on one of his friend's shoulders, just like that. And ever since the sword, he got ready, and he pointed his horns directly at Krishna, and he came charging. And Nectar Devotion, Prabhupada describes Krishna as very intelligent. He knows to control a bull, you need to get a hold of the horns. So Krishna grabbed the horns, and he just picked up Aristasura, swung him around, and threw him. He came crashing down. Then after a while, he shook himself off. He got up. He again began charging at Krishna. Krishna grabbed him by the horns, swung him around and around just by the centrifugal force. His live air came out of his body, and Krishna smashed him on the ground and stomped him like a wet sponge. And passing stool and urine simultaneously, he went to the kingdom of death. Then Krishna looked at Radha Rani and all the Sakis and said, all right, now we can do Ras. And Radha Rani said, how can we be associated with such a person as you? You have done a big pop. You have done a big sin. Hey, what sin did I do? He said, you killed a bull? That is a big sin. How we can be associated with such a person as you? Because that wasn't a bull, that was a demon. Asur. And Radha Rani said, may have been an asur, but he was in the form of a bull. And Krishna said, but he may have been in the form of a bull, but he was a demon. And Radha Rani said, well, we heard from Mother Purnamasi that one time Krishna killed one demon, Vritrasura. You remember? But actually he was a Brahmin. He got reaction. You read in Srimad Bhagavatam, this old lady suffering from tuberculosis, coughing blood, came chasing after Indra. He had to hide in a lake of lotuses for 1,000 years. He got reaction. So Krishna said, all right, so what do I have to do to get free from this sin? So then Radha Rani and Rasa consulted one another. And they said, you will have to take bath at all the sacred places of the universe. And Krishna said, Are, that will take a long time. How I can be away from you girls for so long? I will call all the sacred places here in one place and take my bath. And Radha Rani and all the Sakis said, oh Shamsundar, don't try to fool us with your magic. We don't believe in your magic. And Krishna played on the flute. And all the sacred places personified appeared there. And they bowed before Krishna. And he said, Maharaj? He said, yes. You give your introduction, you chant your mantra. Well, first Krishna went over to the side and he smashed his foot into the ground. Pam, 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 his right foot. And he made a big, deep depression. And he said, I want you to give your introduction, pour your water in my kun, chant your mantra and pour your water into my kun. So everyone came. Somebody said, I'm the salt ocean, I'm the yogurt ocean, I'm Godavari, I'm Sindhu, I'm Kaveri, I'm this tier, that tier. So all the sacred places personified came. And Krishna, just by his eyes, he was showing the gopis. Because when we have love, sometimes we don't even, we speak very sweetly. Just like when we're angry, then we're standing face to face, but we shout at each other. Why? Because our hearts have gone very far away. Then we're standing face to face, but we shout at each other, because our hearts have gone far away. But when we love one another, then we just speak with sweet words. Or sometimes without even words, just by the eyes. The Krishna, just by his eyes, is going to. They're coming, I told you. So this took a long time. Then finally, Krishna took his bath in the kun, and then he told Radharani, so now you come in the water and we'll enjoy jalakiti, water pastimes. And Radharani Saki said, this kun is contaminated with your sin. How will you come in this kun? We're going to make our own kun. So there was a place where Ristasura was supposed to have made a depression in the ground. And Radharani took her golden bangle, we call it kankan. If you go on YouTube and you type in kankan kun or kangan kun, either one, you can see the cleaning of Radha Kun, where they did the cleaning of Radha Kun. And you see way down, you see the most amazing, this little tiny kankan kun is still there. So Radharani broke her golden bangle and she began to dig. And all the Sakis, they also broke their bangles and they began to dig. And within a short time, they had a beautiful kun. I can remember the first time saw the cleaning, that was way back in 1987, I think. We came to Radha Kund. We just happened to come on the right day. They had pumped all the water out. Kund was visible. So we went, and you won't believe how far down it was down so many stairs, and we were going through mud up to our calves. We pulled up our dhotis and saris, and we circumambulated one devotee, Ram Roy, who's now chanting in the subways of New York City. He just jumped right in. We circumambulated, we took some water, and we told all the devotees, now you can see all the devotees came the next day, and they had finished cleaning, and the water, because we saw even then water was coming down from all sides from underground springs. So by the time they came, it was already gone. We just came on the right day and saw it. Anyway, they finished digging this kund, and Krishna said, your kund is very beautiful, but there's no water in it. And Radha Rani said, we're going to make a line, hundreds of gopis, with gold and silver water pots. We'll bring water from Manasi Ganga. Just in the middle of Govardhan town. There's Govardhan Hill and there's Govardhan town, right in the middle. There's Manasi Ganga. So Krishna, he doesn't like to see Radha Rani and the gopis doing any heavy work. He can't bear to see bead of perspiration come on Radha Rani's brow. So he signaled to all those Tirthas personified, and they all became one person. And they came and they bowed down before Srimati Radharani, and they began to praise her with so many wonderful prayers. So Radharani saw that he came from Krishna's side, so she's a little suspicious. He says, what do you want? He said, we thought that the perfection of life was to be associated with the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Because you think when Krishna bathed in all the holy places, he became purified, right? What do you say in Tamil? Yes? I forgot. Huh? Ama. Illa. All the holy places became purified because Krishna bathed in them. But now they pray, seeing your divine, wonderful qualities and the devotion that Sri Krishna himself has for your lotus feet, we can understand the real perfection of life is to be associated with your lotus feet. So she said, what do you want? He said, we want to come in your kund. And then Radharani, she smiled at Krishna, and she shook her head. Sometimes it means yes, sometimes we know. You have to know the proper bow with his tongue. She shook her head. And they broke the wall between Shamakund into Radhakund. So all the water from Shamakund is pouring into Radhakund. And you can see right in the middle where the two kunds meet, you see there's a couple of little domes are there, some monuments are there, and then you can see between the stairs, you can see there's a path in between Radhakund and Shamakund. In fact, I can't remember, was that time 1987 or another time, myself and my dear godbrother Kripanidhi Prabhu, who's now living in Mayapur, we both, because all the water was gone, we were running back and forth between Radhakund and Shamakund in that pathway. I think we're the only Iskar devotees ever got to do that, run back and forth between Radhakund and Shamakund. So then, Krishna told, your kund is very beautiful, and I will always come and bathe in your kund. And Radharani said, and your kund is very beautiful, and we will always come in, bathe in your kund. So even though Radhakund and Shamakund are eternal, they have this wonderful pastime of appearance. Therefore, as soon as Mahaprabhu heard this is Aristogram, he began to ask everyone, where's Radha and Shyamakund? But they were lost to the eyes of the world. No one knew. So Mahaprabhu sat under a tree. There's a very beautiful place called Tamal Tala. Now the Tamal tree is gone. They planted a new one. It's coming. And very nice Philippine Baba. What is his name? Parmanand Baba. He's very dear to me. He originally started out with ISKCON, but he's become a Baba. But he's very, very favorable to ISKCON. He fixes up so many places, and he always gets plaques with Prabhupada's names, and this is because he collects from all the devotees. He gets Prabhupada's name, and this was made by the mercy of the disciples of the Swami AC, but with golden letters he puts everywhere. He's fixed up Janavama's sitting place, he's fixed up the Three Goswami Samadhi, he's fixed up Raghunath Das's Bhajan Kutir, and now he did marvelous job on fixing Mahaprabhu's sitting places. Beautiful dioramas all around now. I don't know, we haven't been here for a while to see what else he's done. So beautiful. Mahaprabhu's great big lotus feet in there. Beautiful. So loving eyes, needy, and Mahaprabhu sitting there, the lotus feet in there. So many wonderful things in the pastime of the peers of ours. So he sat under that tamal tree, and he saw there was two paddy fields. One was called Kali, and one was called Gori. So we know Kali means black, and Gori means golden. So you can understand this was none other than Radha and Shyamakund and Radha. So he went down, and whatever water was there, he took his bath, and he chanted so many beautiful prayers. Sabagopi Haiti Radha Krishna na Priyasi, Haiti Radha Kunda Priya Priya Rasa Rasi. Sabagopi Haiti Radha Krishna na Priyasi. Of all the gopis, Radha Rani is the most dear to Krishna. Haiti Radha Kunda Priya Priya Rasa Rasi. In the same way, this Kund known as Radha Kund is just as dear to Krishna as Radha. From Padmapara. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnu Tasya Kundam Priyam Tata Sarva Gopisu Saivaika Vishnu Ratyanta Balava. Yatha Radha Priya Vishnu, just as Radha is very dear to Krishna, Tasya Kundam Priyam Tata, this Kund is just as dear to Krishna as Radha. Sarva Gopisu Saivaika, of all the gopis, Ek, Sai Eka, there's one, Vishnu Atyanta Balava. When we want to say the mostest of anything, then we use the word atyant. So, most beloved of Krishna. What is that? Ekunde nitya Krishna radhika rasange, jale jala kele kore jire rasarange. This Bengali Chaitanya Charitamrita is so sweet. Krishna's Kaviraj is marvelous. Because generally, if you write anything very sweet, then you have so many big flowery words. And then if you write about philosophy, then you have the big clumsy words that everybody goes, oh. But in very, very concise, sweet language, you put the deep philosophy in Mahaprabhu, and at the same time, it's very, very sweet. And even Hindi, those who understand Hindi, they can follow. Kunde Nitya Krishna, in this Kund, Nitya Krishna, always Krishna, Radhika Rasange, in the song of Radha Rani, Jale, we say, in Hindi we say Pani, you say Tani. In Kerala, what do they say, Malayalam? I've forgotten what you say. Water? Bellam. So, in Bengali we say jal. So jale, in the water, jalakeli, they did water pastimes, or chire rasarangi. You can follow even if you just know a little bit of Hindi. E kunde nitya Krishna radhika rasangi, jale jalakeli kori chire rasarangi. Kundara maduriyena radha madurima, kundara mahima yena radha mahima. The glories of this Kund is just as glorious as the glories of Srimati Radhika. And the sweetness of this kund is just as sweet as the Madhurima, the sweetness of Srimati Radhika. So singing all these beautiful prayers, Mahaprabhu took his bath in the paddy field. All the residents of Radhakund were astounded. Huh? And just by seeing this personality, their ecstatic love for Krishna began to blossom. They began to speculate that he's not blackish, he's golden. He's not holding a flute, he has a sannyas danda in a water pot. But this is the same Virjanananda and Shamsu. They all began to speculate. And he became amazed seeing him bathe and chant these beautiful prayers. They were all totally amazed. In this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed Radhakund and Shamakund to the eyes of the world. Oh yes, and then he took tilak from Radhakund and marked his body with the tilak, and he collected some. He had Balabhadra and he had collected some mud that he took with him for tilak. Sometimes you go to, whenever you go to Radhakund, all the little girls come around and try to sell you a Radhakund tilak. And Radhakund beads, they make beads also out of the Radhakund. And now the government has made beautiful carved stone all around and great big beautiful gates. So many. They fixed up the kund in so many wonderful ways. But somehow or other, in Padma Purana it says that if on the Bahulastami day, in the month of Karti, if somebody takes their bath, he becomes very dear to Radha and Krishna. It doesn't say anything about midnight, it doesn't say anything about appearance, it doesn't say anything about that. And it also, there's some demigod there named Ahoy Devi. If you go at midnight on the Bahulastami day, you'll see them throw this particular type of squash called peta. And they're all hoping that Devi is involved with fertility. They're all hoping to get a child. They're throwing these petas in the water in hopes that in the fate of their wife they will get a child. So somehow they got mixed up with the Gaudiya's snan and some people speculated that this is the appearance of Radhakund. Jiva Goswami very clearly describes it as Chaitya and now some devotees, because we used to go on the Bahulastami night at midnight, and we would go there, we would leave the temple at 10 o'clock, we go there, we do kirtan all around Radhakund and Shamakund 3 times, and we get down, sit on the steps and wait till the stroke of midnight and all jump into the water. But now it's impossible. The last time I went was many years ago. It took us almost an hour before we could get near the kund. There was no question of going around the kund. It was so crowded. And then those who were very learned, they discovered that actually the appearance day is on Chaitra Purnima. So many devotees have started. It's very nice. It used to be very nice in those old days. Now it's just, you go there and it's just so jammed, you can't get in, you can't get out. It's just really chaos. Chaitra Purnima night, because there's Falgun is better, our Mahaprabhu appeared, then the next month after Falgun is Chaitra. No? So the next after Falgun Purnima, the next Purnima, Chaitra Purnima is actual appearance. So, and sometimes devotees question about whether to bathe or not in Radhakund. But my older godbrothers and godsisters told me that one time, I guess it was 1970, Prabhupada was taking 71 or 70, end of 71, beginning of 72. Prabhupada was taking the devotees on Prikam. You may have seen those pictures, Prabhupada in the palki going up to Parsana, he took them to Nandagam. And then there's that nice film, they went to Brahmandagat and you see Prabhupada's eyes get very big as he's describing how Mother Yasoda saw the whole universe, Prabhupada's eyes get very big. And then you you've seen all the devotees were taking baths in the Your Ever World Wisher film. He's sitting on the steps. Because those devotees who were there, they told me Prabhupada came, he went down at Brahmandagar, he touched the water, put some on his head, and he said, "It is too cold for old man like me. But you will all go in." It was November, end of November of 71. So all the devotees jumped in, and they were having so much fun. You can see in the film Prabhupada's talking with Obiel Kapoor, Adi Keshav, his godbrother. In fact, Prabhupada, he saw the devotees having so much fun. He looks at Adi Keshav, you can see him say, "Why not?" And then Prabhupada, they said it was so graceful. In one move, Prabhupada was out of his lungi and into his gavsha, like that. And then you can see my late godbrother Shirdaksha Vishnu Maharaj taking Prabhupada by the hand down into the water, and then in pure Indian style, he grabs his nose, you see, ping, 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 3 times, and rubbing like this. So anyway, Prabhupada took them one day to Radha, and they came there. Prabhupada pointed with his cane. He said, "This is Radha." And the devotees, without hesitating even for a breath, they all just jumped out of their cloth into their gavshas and bathing whatever they had, and they all jumped in the water, and Prabhupada didn't say anything, except with his cane. Everybody forgot, they forgot their bodies altogether. Prabhupada with his cane, he was moving all the ladies to one side and all the gents, everybody just forgot their bodies and just jumped, But later, especially as Westerners, we were very frivolous. People were doing cannonballs and backflips, and Prabhupada heard this, "You're kicking Radha Rani." So then he forbid the devotees to, you just go and take some water on your heads.